right now, all these great funds, there's literally 15.5 billion, there's at least 15.5 billion available for folks to do things today. But the bankers are in charge. So my view is we let the bankers bank and the builders build. And so when it comes to these funds, they shouldn't be, I shouldn't be as an entrepreneur, and you shouldn't be as an entrepreneur, scored by some ex-Macquarie banker who's looking for a 2-3% return on a startup. They should do that. It's a very clever thing to do for mature businesses. But they're not. They haven't started a business. They don't know what it means to be an entrepreneur. We'll need to let entrepreneurs and builders, people that have done things in the past, that score risk differently, manage some of those funds. So risk to me, if I'm sitting with banker friends and I have a confession, I used to be at Anderson's, so I have a lot of some banker friends, and they're not bad people. But their view of risk is economic risk. My view of risk is national risk. What is the risk to the country when we can no longer sustain ourselves, where critical infrastructure has to be imported? What does that mean when somebody else's software is running our grid? What is the risk to the country? What does it mean when our kids won't have any jobs in 3 or 4 years' time because we're not building anything and suddenly all the smart jobs have gone? Those are risks that are much bigger than some bankers' 2 to 3% IRR. And so we need to let builders get a bigger voice on things. If you're talking about national reconstruction, get people that have reconstructed things.
Right.
So that's my rant.
No. It's actually not a rant. I feel a bit of passion there.
Yeah.
Aussie passion in a Scottish accent. But
right.
the thing is that what you're also telling me indirectly is, the ministers like Eddie Husick or so, he would have possibly been one of the 77 that came and visited and took their photos. They maybe come in with good intentions. They get it. You can get your rant out of the way. They go, yep, national security. But then when it gets handed over to the bureaucrats and then they hand it over to the bankers, that's where it all goes sideways, because everybody is always in a cover ass exercise. So what's the lowest risk? There's not that entrepreneurial thinking. But what it also tells me is that actually the bureaucrat's in charge, not the politician.
The bureaucrats are 100%. But
I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, absolutely, that's the case. So,
well, can I just give you a little thing? I was for 13 years working in local government, and I was responsible for a particular area. And if a councillor came in, had a different idea what we thought was the right way, they came every 3 or 4 years. We were experts in slowing it down, killing the goose, making them feel it was going forward, because our ego was, we're in fucking charge. We're the bureaucrats. We're here all this time. We're the German oak. We see the little piglets come, pee on our roots. We've been here for 1,000 years. We've seen hundreds of piglets. How dare you tell the German oak how we should, put our leaves? So, unfortunately, I think there are a lot of people who go into this bureaucratic role, have an ego. I kind of admit now I got one. It's kind of very, actually it's gone small. As you get older, if you're wise, it actually goes smaller.
We're still talking ego, right?
Ego or eagle? You're calling me an eagle. No, but my point is that some of these people who go into this position, be it policemen with uniform, there's a motivation in there. And when you become into the bureaucracy, the best ones who get to the top are the ones who are also good at politics. And then these part-time politicians who come and go all the time trying to fight with the guys who are actually really in charge, which run the show. And you must have had sore lips from kissing so many backsides. I mean, how do bureaucrats react when you kiss backsides? Does it work?
Well, look, no, it doesn't. I mean, so how do... it's possible for everybody to do the right thing and get the wrong result. So the bureaucrats aren't bad people. I'm sure they love their kids and they're good people. But they view the job differently. It's risk mitigation, it's management, it's go slow, and nobody wants to get fired. In fact, famously, I can tell it now because 25 years ago, I remember at Anderson's when Telstra was our biggest client. It's completely changed now, Telstra people. I used to introduce Telstra people to other Telstra people. And Telstra had this system where if you would get rewarded and promoted based on not screwing things up. So the best way to get through Telstra was to be very busy in projects that never went anywhere, because you would, at the end of the year, nothing went wrong, you get promoted. So it's the illusion of effort, illusion of progress. So here's what it translates here. I mean, it's possible for lots of people to try the right thing and the wrong result. And so you've got a situation here where good intentions meet kind of this slow strangling of an idea. It is right now. So we built a big battery factory. It was lovely. It was 80 to 90% Australian batteries, all Australian software.
So you actually had the design going, you physically sourced all your supplier, you were starting to manufacture?
We'd been manufacturing for 4 years. We'd been installing, I forget how many we've got installed now, but it's a couple of hundred different racks of various forms and different sites. So we had been making them for a while. But the thing with this is, if we had gone today to battery breakthrough initiative in ARENA and made an application, I can guarantee you that we wouldn't see a check for 14 or 15 months, assuming we went through from today. So that is effectively infinity in the world of startups. And so...
How about did you say 14 to 15 months?
You won't see a check for more than a year. Now, China's building and the US is building, Europe is throwing up factories like coffee shops right now. So we are now in the world of the quick and the dead. So and you've got a choice, it's either or. And so what's happening here is that this glacial speed, which we used to get away with because we had fossil fuel royalties and we weren't getting older, doesn't work anymore. And so you have this fundamental clash between ambition and execution. And no one in that mix, those leopards are not going to change a spot. You're not going to say to the bureaucrats, you will get rewarded if you move from 12 months to 1 month in the process. If ARENA was KPI'd based on national risk, not economic risk, and they had to move everything through within 3 months, it's either 3 month go or no go, then it would be brilliant, but it won't happen because everybody in there their DNA is to look at risk the wrong way. And so my view is what you've got here is great ambition and good people trying to do the right thing. Ed Husick was a good guy. I like Minister Bowman was a great guy. Bowen, good guy, can factor a few times. Husick, great guy. We've had good people come to us, a lot.
But hang on a second.
But the execution is the problem.
Yeah, so they come, they go, that's a great idea, 5 slaps, here we go, tells these bureaucrats to make it happen. But you see, they already there at the next baby giving it a kiss because they keep on having to be up in the front delivering the good news. They never have the time to stop back and go, oh, how's that project going, and kick it along. You then have to go to them and complain, and then sometimes things move a little bit, but they're not hands-on people.
Well, you can't do that because probity rules say that there's no way a minister could. So let's focus down on the ones that I think are the points of failure. And again, these are not personal because pretty much the people I met have all been good people. You know, that's generally been my experience.
He's looking for a job in the bureaucracy.
Yeah, no. I definitely don't want that.
Please support the channel by liking the video, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, and check out all our other videos. Want more energy answered? Visit yourenergyanswers.com for quality energy products, tools and calculators, and find your quality local installers. You're still here? I'll see you next time. Bye.